Hello, Golden State Warriors fan! We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's crucial for you to stay informed with the news daily. Without further ado, let's get to the news. The NBA world is buzzing with whispers. And if there's one name that can set the basketball universe ablaze with just a few words, it's Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors franchise cornerstone and four-time NBA champion, reportedly made comments behind closed doors that are now echoing far beyond the confines of Chase Center. According to sources close to the situation, Curry is growing increasingly concerned about the internal dynamics of the Warriors' locker room, suggesting that a particular player may be contaminating the team's chemistry. While the term contaminating might sound dramatic, those familiar with Curry's usual cool demeanor are startled by the intensity of his private frustrations. This isn't about on-court performance or missed shots, it's about trust, commitment, and attitude. Curry, who has long been the emotional heartbeat and spiritual leader of this dynasty, is reportedly alarmed by a shift in tone during practices, team meetings, and even in game huddles. While no names have been officially disclosed, insiders believe that Curry's cryptic remarks are aimed at a younger player who hasn't fully bought into the Warriors' championship culture. The whispers are turning into questions, and those questions might just turn into a storm the franchise didn't see coming. The situation, while still under wraps publicly, is generating internal discomfort that hasn't been felt in Golden State for nearly a decade, ever since Curry, Thompson, and Green formed the core that brought multiple titles to the Bay Area. Harmony and synergy were trademarks of the franchise, but now, insiders are whispering that Curry's recent comments voiced during a private meeting with Warriors senior staff might be the clearest indication. Yet that trouble is brewing within the ranks. One source, requesting anonymity, revealed that Curry expressed concern about a dark energy creeping into the team culture, something he hadn't felt since the pre-championship days. The term contamination is reportedly symbolic, referencing not a literal illness, but a mentality of selfishness, a lack of hustle, or possibly even a disruptive presence that clashes with the Warriors' long-standing values. This isn't Curry throwing someone under the bus publicly, it's a calculated, quiet alarm bell. If Steph is speaking up now, it means the situation has likely reached a point where silence is no longer an option. This is not about numbers on a stat sheet, it's about intangibles, trust, respect, discipline, and right now, according to those closest to the locker room, one player is testing the limits of all three. What makes this situation even more intriguing is the identity of the alleged source of contamination. While no official confirmations have surfaced, several beat reporters and team-adjacent media members are pointing their fingers subtly toward one of the Warriors' most recent draft picks, a player praised for his raw athleticism but criticized for a questionable work ethic. The rumors suggest this young talent has been resistant to coaching, slow to embrace the Warriors' team-first mentality, and perhaps most damaging, overly vocal in his frustrations with limited playing time. Curry, who has always championed player development and served as a mentor to up-and-comers, seems to have hit a wall with this individual. He reportedly told a confidant, "You can't lead someone who doesn't want to follow." That kind of statement, coming from someone who's spent over a decade building a culture of humility and hard work, hits hard. Coaches have noticed a shift too. Practices have grown more tense. Rotations are being adjusted, not for strategy, but to manage egos. The coaching staff is walking on eggshells, and while Steve Kerr remains the public voice of calm, internally, this has the markings of a power struggle, one that threatens to fracture the team's unity right when they need it most. Insiders say the tipping point may have occurred during a recent practice session where, for the first time in years, Steph reportedly raised his voice not at an opposing defender, not during a game-winning drill, but directly at a teammate. Witnesses describe the moment as uncharacteristically intense for Curry, who's normally the embodiment of composure. He allegedly called out the player for slacking off on defensive rotations and showing up late to team film sessions. The room reportedly fell silent. Veterans like Draymond Green and Klay Thompson were visibly uncomfortable, and while no one responded at the time, the tension lingered. That practice ended early. One assistant coach allegedly pulled the young player aside afterward, not to reprimand, but to mediate. Curry's frustration isn't performative, it's protective. He's fighting for a culture that brought them for titles, a legacy that could slip away if even one cog in the machine resists alignment. More than anything, The mood inside the organization is now one of cautious monitoring. Everyone is watching the situation closely. The player in question still suits up, still plays minutes, but teammates now glance at him differently. Trust, once broken, takes a long time to rebuild, and right now, that fracture is starting to show. What's more fascinating is that this scenario mirrors, in a way, what the Warriors went through during the final during season, only this time there's no finals MVP involved. Back then, locker room conflicts became tabloid fodder. This time, it's a rookie or perhaps a sophomore who seems to be testing the culture. The idea that Curry, a consummate leader known for bridging egos and elevating teammates, would express such sharp concerns suggests the problem is deeper than fans realize. Curry isn't the type to create drama. If anything, he avoids it. But when he speaks, even privately, people listen. The franchise has reportedly begun holding internal meetings, focused solely on culture preservation, and some believe the team is weighing whether to cut ties with this player sooner rather than later. Not because of a lack of talent, but because of what that talent might cost them long term. This isn't just about one season, it's about identity, and the Warriors, with their core aging and windows closing, cannot afford even the smallest crack in their foundation. Curry reportedly ended one meeting saying, "This is bigger than basketball." When your MVP starts talking like that, you know something serious is going on behind the scenes. Interestingly, the front office is in a delicate spot. They've invested time, media narratives, and fan hope into the development of this young player. Moving on from him would be more than a basketball decision. It would be an admission of miscalculation. Yet, there's a growing sentiment among veterans that the team can't afford to gamble on potential at the cost of peace. Several insiders hint that conversations about trades or assignments to the G League have already begun, though no public statements support that yet. Meanwhile, Curry remains mostly silent in front of the cameras, sticking to safe talking points in post-game interviews, but behind closed doors. Sources say his patience is wearing thin. One anonymous staff member reportedly stated, "Steph's not angry. He's disappointed, and that's worse. Disappointment implies expectation." Curry expected this player to rise to the moment, to embrace the Warrior way, but instead, he's watching someone drift away from accountability, away from the brotherhood, and potentially away from the roster. With the off-season fast approaching and decisions looming, fans should brace for the possibility that the Warriors' next big move won't be a blockbuster trade, but a culture cleanse initiated by the greatest player in franchise history. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. What's even more telling is how silent the other veterans have been. Normally, if drama rises, Draymond Green is the first to speak up, sometimes to his own detriment, but this time nothing. Not a podcast comment, not a sideline rant, not even a cryptic tweet. That silence speaks volumes. Sources believe the veterans are unified behind Curry, choosing discretion over confrontation. Klay Thompson, typically reserved off the court, is said to be particularly bothered by the young player's apparent disinterest in team bonding activities, dinners, workouts, and even charity events. The feeling inside the organization is one of quiet frustration, a pressure cooker waiting for its release valve. Everyone's hoping the player wakes up, snaps out of whatever mental fog he's in, and realigns with the team's values. But the clock is ticking. Summer League is approaching. So is the draft. Decisions have to be made. And as much as the Warriors pride themselves on patience, the truth is they've been burned before by waiting too long to act. Steph's comments, though subtle, may be a last warning shot if the locker room is truly being contaminated, as he reportedly said then the organization has a moral obligation to disinfect before rot sets in. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.